Budget phones with dual cameras remain being a hot thing, and with the Ulefone Gemini we tested the third device of its kind. I'm Christopher for ChinaMobileMag with the full review of the Ulefone Gemini. The Ulefone Gemini packs a whole bunch of accessories. The most useful one is a tempered glass, which has been specifically cut for use with this phone. In addition, there is a little metal crafted phone stand, a SIM tool, a multi-language quick start guide, a transparent case, a 1.5 ampere power supply, and a micro USB data and charging cable. A screen protector is applied to the phone out of the box, which we of course removed for our test. The Ulefone Gemini is an outstandingly beautiful phone, and despite the low price tag boasts a CNC crafted unibody metal design. The only plastic parts are the covers above the antennas, which feature a nice looking dot pattern. The matte finish of the phone changes color from black to dark blue depending on the surrounding light intensity. The bezels around the camera modules and the phone's body are not colored but polished to a glossy finish, which does look awesome. Of course, due to the CNC crafted full metal body, the phone is very sturdy. The hardware buttons are made from metal as well and do not rattle. The SIM tray fits almost perfectly into the phone's frame. And also on the ports and openings on the upper and lower frame, we haven't been able to spot any gaps or sharp edges. The physical home button on the front has been done very well. It doesn't rattle and there is no cheap sounding noise when pressing it. The button just feels very nice and leaves a high quality impression. Due to the slightly curved back, the rounded frame and the 2.5D glass on the front, the Ulefone Gemini feels very nice when holding it. The thickness of 8.9 mm is just perfect, and the weight of 183 grams underlines the good build quality. Hats off Ulefone, at 130 to 140 bucks, it's quite amazing what you guys delivered here. The only disappointing thing is that there is no status LED. The screen measures in at 5.5 inches, the panel is made by Sharp and operates at Full HD resolution. The picture is crisp and sharp, colors do pop and the contrast is satisfying. The viewing angles are pretty good as well. According to Ulefone, the panel reaches more than 500 nits of brightness, and indeed the brightness is very high and improves outdoor readability a lot. The screen glass so far has survived daily use with no protection, without any scratches, so there is no urgent need of using the tempered glass. Sadly, there is no oleophobic coating, so smudges settle quite fast and are not that easy to get rid of. The touch panel can handle 5 touches at once and is quite fast and precise, so it's easy to type fast on it. Also, the screen glass has good enough gliding properties. We have been stunned by how well Ulefone managed to optimize their software on the MT6737T SoC. You wouldn't believe how fast this chipset can be with proper optimization until you held a Ulefone Gemini in your hands. It really feels more like a Qualcomm-based phone than an MTK one. But of course, even Ulefone can't do any magic, and thus its gaming the phone doesn't handle too well. Older games run well, but newer titles do stutter a lot. Something we did notice is that under high load the phone does get quite hot on the rear, not uncomfortable but still very noticeable. The Ulefone Gemini comes with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of memory. The latter can be expanded using microSD cards. Sadly, we haven't been able to expand ours since the micro SIM tray is broken, which means that we had to use a nano SIM card. Since Ulefone uses a hybrid SIM tray, the nano SIM card blocks the SD tray. It's quite disappointing to see stuff like that happen, since it means that quality control still isn't the best. Sensor equipment includes both a gyroscope and a compass. Sadly, both of them do not work properly. The compass often spins uncontrollably and the gyroscope is inverted. Hopefully the gyroscope will be fixed with the next update. The fingerprint scanner was a really big surprise since it performs outstandingly well. It is very reliable and almost never fails, and it also is very fast. The only thing that might disturb some of you is that the scanner is passive, which means that you have to press the home button to unlock and can't just rest your finger on it. The Ulefone Gemini runs Android 6.0 Marshmallow. OTA updates are supported, and so far we have got one update right after unboxing the phone. An Android N update is scheduled for release soon. The security patch sadly is outdated. Right now the phone uses a June 2016 security patch. The operating system comes with the Google Play Store pre-installed and supports all languages that are officially supported by Android. The OS, for the most part, comes without customizations and thus can be called stock Android. Just the launcher has been replaced with one that doesn't offer an app drawer. In case you dislike this, you can easily replace it with another launcher. The OS comes with a couple of additional features. Those are support for Mediatek hot nod, off-screen gestures, flip actions, somatosensory gestures, customizable on-screen buttons, as well as a couple of additional home button features which enable you to control the Ulefone Gemini in a similar way as a Meizu phone. For example, you can trigger back by touching the home button. Also, the fingerprint scanner supports locking specific applications with your fingerprint. Another neat feature is the dedicated function key on the right side of the phone. If you long press this button, an app or function specified by you is triggered. Short pressing the button opens the camera app. Pressing the button within the camera app takes a picture. Reception quality in mobile networks was good, and we have been able to establish 3G connections inside buildings. LTE band 20 is supported too. Wi-Fi signal is a bit weak, which causes a massive bandwidth drop one floor below the router, but luckily no signal losses. The Bluetooth signal is rather weak too. Our Bluetooth headset lost connection to the phone when we moved one room away, and even next to the phone there have been interferences from time to time. GPS seems to suffer from a software bug. In GPS testing apps, the signal strength is decent and accuracy is too, but when actually using the GPS for tracking and navigation we noticed inaccuracies and jumping waypoints, so right now GPS isn't of much use. The internal speaker does sound quite okay, but it's not amazing. On the higher volume levels there is quite a bit of distortion. The headphone jack delivers a clean audio signal with sufficient maximum volume, but basses are a bit too intense, which makes audio sound a bit dull. Telephony quality is decent, the earpiece sounds clear and natural, a noise-cancelling microphone is not there. According to the datasheet, the Ulefone Gemini comes with a dual camera that is supposed to boast a 13-megapixel main sensor and a 5-megapixel secondary sensor. Sadly, the secondary sensor in reality only is a VGA sensor. The main sensor is a 13-megapixel Panasonic MN34152 and the secondary sensor is a Galaxy Core GC030A, which is the same sensor as found in the Yukitel U20 Plus. Needless to say that with such a small secondary sensor you cannot expect a top-notch synthetic bokeh effect. It takes a lot of try and error to produce proper pictures in dual camera mode. Most of the time it just creates kind of a tilt shift effect. But the main camera is really good. In single camera mode we have been able to take some stunning pictures using the Ulefone Gemini. The amount of detail is good and colors look really vivid. The camera also boasts a fast focus and shutter time is very short too. There have been no issues in direct light situations either. The dual LED flash is really bright, but since it isn't a dual tone flash, it does kill colors. Also, close-ups with enabled flash often look a bit overexposed. At night, the main camera fails, but that was to expect considering the price tag of this phone. The front camera is based on a 5MP Galaxy Core GC5005 sensor and for sure can't take awesome selfies, but again, considering the price tag, the results are just good enough. The 3250 mAh battery sadly did not live up to our expectations. During daily use we reached an average screen-on time of 5.5 hours. That's enough to get through the day, but excludes evening use. Charging the battery takes around 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is quite slow, so fast charging like Ulefone advertises is not there. Verdict: the Ulefone Gemini is a beautiful and well-built entry-level phone with a capable camera. However, the dual camera feature sucks, which is why we think that Ulefone should have left it out and instead put a status LED on this phone and maybe include a larger battery. Also, the weak GPS performance is disappointing. Anyhow, if Ulefone manages to fix the mentioned issues by future software updates, the Gemini indeed is quite a bargain. So, that's all for this review. The shop link and more information is located down in the video description. I am Christopher for CMM. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.